If you've ever picked a fight with someone 3 times your size, you're probably lucky to have walked out of there alive. While you should never judge a book by its cover, some people's size, skills, and appearance are giant red flags to stay well back. Ready to meet some people that you definitely don't want to mess with? Watch the video till the end not to miss a thing, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's get it on! Shifu Shi Yanming. Shi Yanming was born in the Year of the Dragon, an appropriate totem given his extreme resilience and legendary fighting skills. At just age 5, he was taken to a small 1500-year-old Shaolin monk temple where the Grand Master agreed to train him in the art of war and peace. He's a living weapon. A lifetime of kung fu and brutal body conditioning has forged his physique out of pure iron. Swords, spears, sticks. He's mastered deadly combat with nearly every hand-to-hand weapon there is. However, they're not needed, as his feet and fists are more than capable of extinguishing the life of anyone who crosses his path. Ming also possesses the uncanny trait of being unable to feel pain. Incredibly, he's able to hold a spear to his throat while his student breaks blocks of stone on his back with their bare hands. After all, it's mind over matter. Ingun Yu. William Tell shot an apple off his son's head with a bow and arrow. Well, Ingun Yu goes one step further. He prefers a flying kick. He won Red Bull's Kick It tournament and is now arguably the best extreme martial artist on the planet. He came from humble beginnings, using a punching machine in a children's games arcade to practice his unique skills. He combines the ferocious kicks of Taekwondo, the grace of the Wushu style, capoeira's unorthodox and improvised movements, and the agility of gymnastics to produce kicking combos that look like they're straight out of Street Fighter or Tekken. Fast forward to now, and the man affectionately known as Kick Gun is able to launch himself into the air from 10 feet away, perform 4 complete aerial corkscrew revolutions, and then deliver a strike with his feet that maxes out the impact sensor on the machine. Imagine if the target was your face. Muhammad Karimanovic. While most 60-year-olds are thinking about all the golf and fishing they'll do in their retirement, Muhammad Karimanovic is coming up with new and ingenious ways to try and obliterate things to smithereens, or break his hands trying. He's been a martial artist for over 50 years, and even as a 2-year-old, his parents confirmed that the toddler would smash anything and everything near him. After years of stabilizing and strengthening his hands, they look like something out of a cartoon. They're absolutely massive, and give a whole new meaning to the phrase "hands like frying pans." He's the holder of multiple Guinness World Records: 123 coconuts crushed by hand in 1 minute, 74 full and unopened cans of soda crushed in 1 minute. But it's not just raw brute force that fuels Muhammad's ferocious fists. He believes that it's important to set challenging goals, a fact he demonstrated by crushing 43 cans in 1 minute while holding a raw, unbroken hen's egg. Lucas Novotny. Everyone knows the story of Robin Hood, the gentleman bandit who displayed incredible feats with a bow and arrow. Think of Lucas Novotny as a modern-day Robin Hood, only instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, he makes hitting a target 1,000,000 times harder by doing it from the back of a galloping horse. He's a throwback to a bygone era, a time when the Romans used their mounted Sagittari cavalry unit to subdue the Germanic tribes of Central Europe, or the highly mobile Mongolian horseback archers used by Genghis Khan to dominate Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Lucas is more than capable of hitting a bullseye as he careers past the target at high speed. If this wasn't difficult enough, he can nail targets moving along the ground in the opposite direction. This guy isn't horsing around. Tony Sentmanat. What happens when a retired U.S. Marine becomes a veteran of over 800 SWAT team deployments? Tony Sentmanat. This guy is the real deal. He's now a law enforcement combative arts trainer with almost 20 years as a firearms instructor. No matter what range, he has the means and skills required to put a bad guy down permanently. He's a lifelong practitioner of martial arts with skull-crushing punches, rib-cracking kicks, joint-snapping submission holds, and lethal chokes. All tools in his belt and proving that he's a real all-rounder. He's able to not only defend knife strikes, but deliver them fatally. Tony is like a walking, talking artillery cannon. Small arms, rifles, ballistic explosive weapons, he's able to wield them all with deadly effectiveness. Look up the words one-man army in the dictionary and all you get is a full-page picture of this guy's ferocious face. This is a man you never want to get on bad terms with. Meenakshi Raghavan. Grannies are meant to bake chocolate chip cookies, provide an endless supply of warm hugs, and buy you a comic book subscription each year for your birthday, even if you're in your 30s. Meenakshi Raghavan is not your typical grandma. The 73-year-old practices an Indian martial art known as Kalari that uses swords, shields, and sticks to arm the common people and ready them for battle. After more than 6 decades, she's still competing, beating men half her age and giving them a lesson in humility. She's also starred in local TV series and in movies, and is just as good as moving her hips in time to the beat as she is from separating flesh from bone. She's one of the most dangerous women in the world with a blade in her hand, proof that even Bollywood dancers know how to handle themselves in a fight. Julian Michael Arroyo. The U.S. Marine Corps is an elite fighting unit that only takes the best of the best. Soldiers at the peak of their physical conditioning and mental toughness who have the drive to succeed and overcome challenges as a core function of their very being. Julian Miguel Arroyo is at the top of the pile of these superhuman soldiers. He's the strongest, fittest in the Army gym by a huge margin. Videos of him completing grueling circuits of heavy weight resistance training, calisthenics, and bodyweight challenges are truly something to behold. Even more impressive is the fact that he breezes through exercises in full combat attire, complete with a breathing restrictive gas mask. Typically, Marines are required to carry 100 pounds of gear and equipment in the field. One thing's for sure, any foreign enemy who encounters Julian at close quarters would be quickly and abruptly broken in half, just like snapping a dry twig in summer. Real Chef Rush. Chef Rush created a stir on Twitter a few years ago after he was spotted preparing a meal for President Donald Trump. It wasn't his culinary prowess that caught the attention of social media, it was his bulging 24-inch biceps. He's an absolute beast, with a chest almost as thick as it is wide. His legs look like tree trunks, and his arms put action movie stars to shame. The world wanted to know what's the secret. Turns out there's none, just hard work and a strict diet providing the amino acid building blocks and chemical energy his body needs to grow to truly monumental proportions. He hits the gym daily, a habit he picked up from his time in the US Army. On top of that, he does an astonishing 2,222 push-ups a week. Rush not only sells delicious food, but tickets to the gun show as well. Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is a bad man. As soon as he steps inside the octagon, he goes from mildly spoken man to the phenom they call the Predator. After just 5 years of training, he got his shot in the UFC's heavyweight division for obvious reasons. The guy hits like a mule. Only a fool would choose to underestimate his punching power, and as many top-tier fighters know all too well, just a glancing blow is enough to send his opponent falling downwards, knocked out cold before they even hit the canvas. He's officially the hardest hitter in the world. Sports scientists measured a punching power of 129,161 units, the equivalent of swinging a 12-pound sledgehammer over your head into a railway spike. The previous record was 114,000 units, held by heavyweight boxer Tyrone Spong. A smack in the chops by Big Francis would not only separate you from reality, but your jaw from its socket. Yevgeny Los. Yevgeny Los is that one guy in gym class who is as strong as an ox and naturally physically gifted in every way times 1,000. He looks like an ancient Greek statue carved from stone and is proof they built them tough in Belarus. He's officially the best in the world at push-ups, widely regarded as being the most honest, truthful measure of raw strength per body weight. Though he's short and relatively petite, there's no doubt that he couldn't possibly pack any more muscle on his small frame and puts all the bigger guys to shame. He nailed the Guinness World Record by completing 67 push-ups on uneven bars in a minute with a whopping 40 pounds of additional weight. He then doubled down and went big, doing 53 with 60 pounds on his back, smashing the previous record by 40 whole push-ups. Don't come at him, you'll regret it.